All right. Oh my goodness gracious. Stream Ronnie time. I got a bowl loaded up here. Should probably always, at least, before officially starting, needs to have like some of this loaded before actually starting. The hell was that? Oh. Yawny little thing. Goofball dog. Man, it kind of soiled a cop's evening for maybe putting a quota. My light on my bike died. I realized it's actually a little USB fucking plug-in to charge it. So I thought I had to replace the battery because I was trying to turn it on as I noticed this cop, rolling up. And I was like, wasn't riding it yet. I was just sitting there, being like, all right, I'm just going to chill for a little bit, on this corner as I noticed this cop rolling up. And I was like, all right, I think I'm going to just, sit here for a minute, try to get this thing turned on. It wouldn't turn on. I was like, all right, well, fuck it. I took it off and tried to look at it and stuff. And while I'm doing all this cop turns, on the fucking, street that I was about to roll down on, and parks, next to this little parking area and just sits there, like right at the entrance of the place, just with all lights off, with his all blacked out car. And I'm looking at him like, I'm not fucking stupid. I can literally see you right there. And so I'm walking by him, walking my bike, this time around, being like, I'm not dumb. Just kind of staring at me like, as soon as you drive away, I'm going to ride on this thing. Soon enough, as soon as I pass by, it drives off, and I just hop on it. And I'm like, fucking slow this time, to get a little bit of a quote, or at least be like, excuse me, kid. Sailing the alcohol seas to Hungry Tiger. Nice. That sounds fun. I've been sailing the seas a little too much with Logan a lot lately, and I need to chill the fuck out a little bit. Aye. Not because of anything in particular. It's just literally because he fucking takes. It's so it takes so long, for us to wrap shit up, because he'll be like, all right, need to get ready to go to bed. Ends up being 5. All right, well, I need to kind of get ready to go to bed. Ends up being 7. It's like, all right, I need to go to bed. 8. All right, I need to. It's like, no, fuck. Play Donuts too. Well, I'm assuming probably because he was tired of shit for staying up all night with me. It's happened too many times, and it's literally because he just keeps talking about shit. And honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, it's half of it I forget, to be honest, just because I'm just at stages I'm getting tired. I just want to sleep and just have background noise, and you're not helping at this point. It's like, man. I mean, he's still a homie, but it's like, oh my god. Though, at least, before, we all finished up, we had some Rigobertos and stuff, and came back here and ate a little bit, and then we, split ways after that, finally, but I think we were both in the status of, food, that we were just like, fuck it. Because I reminded him about that, and he was like, you know what, the munchies just straight hit me right about now, bro. You know, you're right. Let's go on an adventure. Go get some. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. My goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. At least work today's been pretty chill. Though kind of an odd shift because I was written in at 5:30, but I was like, yeah, fuck it. But because I woke up late today because of late night to early morning shenanigans with Logino, it's just like woke up at 4 and I was like, all right, well, at least it's a day I'm written in. So fuck it. I'm gonna just wake up and show up when I do, and showed up at 4:30, so it's whatever. Didn't take a lunch today because there's no need to. Didn't have a long enough shift for it, so. But I'm just glad today was chill. Piece of fucking shit. Come on. There we go. That's better. That'd be much better. Anyhow, what'll be going on for news today and all that bullshit? What'll be happening for the news? I'm assuming there's gotta be shit going down or something. It's Tuesday after all. Gotta be a little updates on some news. I will say I did see like this kind of like this clip that someone was reacting to about like, you know, what kind of makes Trump compelling to some voters, and that shit was honestly ridiculous. Understandable in a weird way, but just ridiculous when it comes to the justification that some people have, and I'm just like, even for me, it's dumb. I'm just like, okay, like what the fuck? Because there's this one chick who was just like, you know, I'm pretty much, you know, like put life above all else kind of thing. So that's why I'm like, vote Trump, because like these Democratic parties showing that they don't care about that and blah blah blah. And I'm like, but Trump doesn't either. He doesn't either. I mean, I'm assuming the reason for it outside of that is basically just to be like, I want them to lose and have them like learn their lesson kind of thing. But it's like they don't. And also, it's like if you're pro, like, you know, for life in the sense of actually like, you know, human rights, you know, civil justice, pro Palestinian justice, shit like that, then no one's your guy. Like Kamala ain't gonna be that. You know, Trump sure shit ain't that. And it's like no one is. So it's kind of a mute rationale. It's a mute logic to me. It's like. But a lot of people were like, at least in that weird like vid, were pretty much mentioning random shit like that. It's like, I don't know if it's like, you know, a naivete of like a sense of like, well, you know, like they'll have to learn this time. It's like, I'm not going to. I mean, hence why like being critical of the party is, you know, important, but. You know, sucking up to the other side of the political fuba and shit, you know, doesn't exactly do anything to address these issues. In fact, it just kind of prolongs them and makes them worse. Regardless of like who's running shit at that rate, you know. So it doesn't like ultimately matter with that weird justification rationale. To me, it doesn't. I'm not even an electoral guy. I don't like it either, but it's like, I mean, at that point, you know, an advocacy of a totally new party or like, you know, or at least, you know, just being critical of the duopoly in itself and saying, I'm just not going to vote for either side. They both deserve to lose. Fuck them. Then that would make more sense. Not like, well, I'm a Democrat, but they have failed to represent me, so fuck them. Vote Trump this time. I mean... It's happened before, I guess, but the rationale for it's stupid. Like, truly exceptionally stupid shit. And for me, the main reason why I think it's stupid is just because, like, if you're disenfranchised with one party of the broader, like, two-party masquerade, then why go to the other side? Especially if, like, there's a strong chance that they probably don't represent your views anyway. That in itself just doesn't make sense to me. Because, I mean, by that logic, I mean, I could, just to see the Dems lose, I could vote for Trump, but what's the fucking point? Even in a swing state, that wouldn't, like, at least for me as a leftist, wouldn't make sense. It just wouldn't. So there's no reason or no, or a point to that for me. And if anything, it would just be irrational. I mean, to me, it's more rational to just say fuck both parties, especially Republicans anyway, because they absolutely don't represent me. Democrats ostensibly are supposed to represent, at least in some parts, of my views, but they don't. So fuck them too. Like that's, like, I mean, I don't know. Like for me, that's, makes way more sense for someone to like feel, which a lot of people feel anyway. I mean, even if they are a single issue voter, it's, I mean, for a lot of people, it's just like, either side supports my one single issue or whatever the fuck, then fuck it. Or if they do, then I'll vote for that side. But if not, then I'll vote for the other side that supports or whatever. Like a lot of people are like that. And, which I think, honestly, a lot of people tend to, vote in that way, especially with things like if Israel-Palestine issue. But even in that case, if someone's like, well, Dems don't represent me on that shit, so vote for Trump on that one. It's like, even then, they ain't representing you there either. In fact, they're probably, hypothetically, would maybe be worse on that issue. Honestly, I mean, it's already been maxed out to how bad it can get anyway. So like, outside of having like U.S. troops side by side with the IDF or some shit, like outside of that directly, I mean, I don't know how you can make it worse. Which ostensibly, Trump may do, but the current administration is kind of gearing up for that now anyway. So it's, I mean, it's like, what the fuck? That's another thing where, like, Dems will be like, well, Trump would be worse on this issue. It's like, no, they're not. They just be vocal about it. While Dems pretend to be like, well, we're for a ceasefire. We're, we're going to give them 30 days and we'll cut off military aid if they don't put more humanitarian aid efforts in. It's like, yeah, bullshit. You're going to continue to give them money, give them weapons, constantly support their shit, and, pretend to ostensibly be critical of it without doing anything. Republicans will just be, yeah, that's great, fucking do it. Finish the job, burn it to the ground. Like, they would just be vocal about it. But the actions would be the same. It's just absurd. And honestly, it's just straight up peak American centrism to me, honestly. It's not necessarily like the weirdos that are like legit kind of like politically in the middle one way or the other, and they do kind of flip-flop back and forth a lot. Or, we'll vote for both parties and sometimes, like in elections and shit. But the ones who I think are really stupid, are the ones that will just do a single issue vote, the party that they're more, supportive of because of those, single issues, ends up not representing that anymore, but then goes to the other party that just blatantly doesn't support that shit and says, well, I'm supporting them now, in hopes that it'll teach the other party a lesson or something. It's like, if the Dems didn't learn from 2016 about, like, basically just doing, we got this, fuck it kind of mentality like it's going on right now, then they sure as shit, aren't learning anytime soon or in the future. That just ain't the case. It'd be fucking stupid to think if that would be the case. Unless, like, Democrats on, like, every fucking level were just quashed somehow, like, I mean, and even then, they probably wouldn't learn. They would think, well, that means we just got to go more right. That's what they would think, because they're doing that now. Again, it's just stupid. Man, I got a fucking hair, like, tickling me. It's driving me nuts. At least I don't have a runny nose bullshit. At least I don't got that. Ooh, that felt good. Nice. That's nice. You want? Actually, let me get this pin back on my jacket. I'm looking at it. Whoa. I don't even know how this pin fell off because of how long it's been sitting in this jacket. Been jacked for over a fucking year. Has not popped out up until last night somehow, just randomly. There we go. There we go. That should fix it. There we go. There we go. I still have like a couple pins I need to fix, or maybe see if I can get another pin back on or something, so I can get it back on here. But at the same time, I'm slowly but surely running out of space. I need to start using shit on this shit, I guess, a little bit. I have no fucking idea. I'm running out of space. Start putting them on my back. Have so many pins, I just start putting them on my back. Just get like some ridiculous huge pins and just put them on the back. That would be actually legit kind of ridiculous, but kind of cool. Be a very unique battle vest, you know, for it to just be nothing but pins. Getting that bowl loaded up and all that fun shit. Doggo, what are you doing over there? What are you doing over there, Doggo? You goofy little boy. You goofy bean. Doggo is a ball of goofy beanness. I'm also waiting for the cue for him to assault the food bowl for food. Because I got some for him, but I'm just waiting for the eventual assault on that bowl. Because eventually it's going to happen. Little turd. Oh, he might do it here pretty soon. What we doing, buddy? Are you gonna want some foo-foo? Because I know you probably want it. Yep, there it is. You're giving me the look, bro. He was giving me a death stare. It's like you're feeding me, right, motherfucker? It's like I could trash this house out even further there, buddy, if you want me to, Dad. Dog, oh my god. Yeah, move. Holy fuck, it's Stromboli's. Oh my, can you quit having a freak out over here? Oh my lord, alright, that's a little overfilled. Oh my goodness, you're a nut. This dog is insane. Yeah. From, okay. You silly bean. Oh, you goofy dog. Goofy dog. Well, you know what? Here, I should just remember to do this really quick since I'm just chilling and bam 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 bullshit. Ooh. Almost had a little burp. But it wasn't really a burp, but it felt weird. Oh my goodness. Actually, while I was sending a message to a buddy, I noticed another message from another friend. And those little Optimus bots that Elon Musk had or whatever the fuck, I fucking kind of called it even further than I thought. That shit, because I thought, the voices were, just some people like in headsets just somewhere else at an office or something. No, the bots were actually the people. There was people actually, they were people. Like wearing some weird high-tech suit-looking shit to make them look like robots, even though they're not. There were people literally like, like acting like robots and shit. And I'm just like, oh my fucking god. And the Tesla employees or whatever the fuck, that were next to him and shit were bodyguards. They're like semi-undercover bodyguards to protect him just in case, someone like wanted to fuck with him or something. And frankly, I'm not shocked at all, but it's just like, I didn't think I'd call it that hard, where I'm like, I didn't think they were just people. I just thought like they were just like little bots, but, they weren't really going to be capable of doing anything really, and they were just there for display. But then when people talk to them, it just sounded like, someone on a headset, because there's probably a camera in the headpiece, where they're watching, and they can see what's going on, they can hear and all that shit. No, it went further because they were in the suit or whatever the fuck they were wearing. Whatever it was, they were wearing that shit. The Optimus suits. It's like, oh my god, bro. They don't even have real robots. They just have people in suits, dude. That is like some Nigerian prince scam level of fucked right there, dude. But because he's a billionaire rich white guy, I mean, he can get away with it. Lovely how the world works, huh? Lovely how it works like that. Oh, boy. God, those bots are so fucking absurd, dude. And speaking of absurd shit, there's, there's supposedly new video analysis of Trump shit himself at a few rallies or whatever, but one of them honestly do kind of think is fake because of just how bonkers loud it is. Because I'm just thinking there ain't no fucking way. Because Kyle responded or reacted to it, I think yesterday, and I was listening to it. Man, I can't wait for that phone to come in because dude, we could look at it. Because bro, like dead ass, like I mean, the first one I think is fake. The second one I don't. There was two of them. One of them was like, yeah, yeah. But the second one was very subtle. It was like, where it was about that quiet. I'm like, that's real. But the second one was like, and louder than Trump speaking on the mic. And it's like, so I was thinking, there ain't no fucking way, dude. There ain't no way that second one's, or the first one's real, but the second one's definitely. kept me all up. I had an appointment in 10 hours. I took a whole edible, a CBD edible, because I had a bad headache and nausea earlier. I mean, it's pretty good. Well, hopefully I feel better. Hopefully the appointment goes well and all that fun, good shenanigans. And hopefully I don't end up staying late myself in a way, to be honest, because I love Logan, but oh my god, he literally go from one talk to the other and just go on ramble mode, and it's like, oh my god. I mean, I do too. I mean, that's why I do these, but holy fuck, dude. Sometimes I'm just like, I want to skibbity scroll and go to bed or eat some food now, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh my god. It's like, fuck. I love him, he's a homie, but still, it's like, holy shit, dude. Bad news about Evan LeFavor. You made a video defending Joker 2. Damn. Fuck the anti-vax is by far his worst take, dude. Damn. You know, I was thinking about my mama the other night. She asked, it's like, yeah, I even asked her, it's like, you know, if there's any movies, you even want to see? She's like, yeah, there's nothing really I want to see outside like Joker 2. And I'm sitting here like, oh. That's one of the few movies I don't want to see because I've just heard it's bad. And she's like, well, didn't you like the first one? I'm like, yeah. But the second one, I've just heard so many bad things from a lot of, people that I know and kind of trust their word about that. And I'm like, even the trailers, I wasn't even really, intrigued by. And yeah. I even let myself get spoiled, with it. And when I heard about, like, the plot and all this other shit, I was like, yeah, no. So, I definitely want to just keep it minimal when it comes to that shit, just so I don't have it ruined. I wanted the movie to be good, ignore. I wanted it to be good so bad. I know, dude. Same. That's why I'm just not going to bother. Everyone else has suffered, so I don't have to. I mean, I suffered enough just having to hear about it. And just how bad it is and all that shit. Like, fuck that, dude. Ugh. There we go. Reverse Jesus. Yeah, instead of it resurrecting, it should just stay dead. That's for sure. Because man. It definitely, like, I've heard, like, speculation that, like, Todd Phillips did it, so almost kind of like a fuck you to, like, executives in a way to try to, like, make it so they ain't doing a third one, or for the pressure of trying to get a second one. I mean, which I honestly hope that's the case, to be honest, because if not, what the fuck was he smoking, dude? Like, what type of crack cocaine was he getting into, man? Because, like, bro. Fucked. I mean, like, it's just, like, one of those things where if it was going to be a one-off, even at least when the movie first came out, there was a part of me that did kind of want a second part. And, at least in the initial time. But honestly, over the years, I'm like, it was fun. I will be happy with it. Because if anything, I guess, like, the fan speculation and shit, it's what, like, made me kind of think about the film for a while, Like, so, honestly, on its own, would have just been fine. But then the second one was announced, and before the trailers came out, it's like, oh, okay. Kind of sparked a little bit of something back in me for a minute, where I was like, all right, well, maybe it'll be kind of cool. But then the trailers started coming out, and I was like, oh. It's like, what's going on here? This ain't good. And yeah, ended up not being good. So yeah, definitely fuck that shit. Still want to see Tailfire Free at some point. But honestly, beyond that, I can't really think of anything else I want to watch. At least when it comes to films. Because it doesn't really seem like there's been much in general. So, yeah. Meh. In Halloween Santa? Sure, why not? Why not have a Halloween Santa? Why not? Oops. AKA Salmon Claus. Salmon Claus? Ooh. I like it. We definitely need, like, I mean, you know, if Christmas is going to start, like, you know, expanding on to other holidays, we absolutely need a hundo P. 100% need a fucking Halloween Santa. Yeah, if they're going to be intriguing on all this shit, there needs to be some horror-based fucking Christmas shit. Solomon Claus regards kids to the houses of neighbors who pass out dental products instead of candy. Damn. Instead of giving him a coal, he just stunts them. It's like, you are now going to be dumb and stupid and drain damaged forever. Damn. Damn, dude. Doggo, you were desperate for food and you barely ate anything out of that food bowl. You shithead. Wow. You get stuff you get on at Christmas or Halloween. That would make the best holiday. Imagine going door to door once. And not once at a house. You get a Nintendo Switch. Oh, like yeah, like you get like different little cool trinkets and cool little things. And sometimes if you get to a cool house or the rich houses, you get things like Nintendo Switches and shit. Though you have to get there early. Almost typed out and getting a Nintendo, and that made me feel my age. Well, I wouldn't know what you meant. It's like go to like some, go to the rich neighborhoods and you go out to like, the granny that's like decked out and fun. So it's like, here, Sonny, have a fucking PC. Have a PS5. It's like, whoa. Thanks, rich grandma lady. That would actually be kind of legit. I imagine they're almost like, some neighborhoods would be like, oh, we're going to crowdfund now. Everyone's getting 1 to 10 Switches. So, for the kids that are able to go out, they have one chance, any particular house. Sooner the better. Blah, 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 blah. Or whatever. There's probably some bullshit like that where you get, like, gypped. Where it's like, no. Like those HOA neighborhoods, they would make it lame. Like the fucking trunk or treat, bullshit. They'll do, dude. There'll be some bullshit like that where it'll be a lamer version of it. It's like, here's my son's Game Boy. It's like no games to fit at all. They just give you the Game Boy with nothing at all with it. Not even a charger. That'd be just bonk, dude. Oh, dude, for real. Yeah, if you don't participate, you're basically literally Hitler. Excuse me, you didn't partake in a community event? Well, excuse me, what the fuck are you, Hitler? Game Boy Advance SP. I don't remember if I had the SP specifically or not. I know I had the Game Boy Advance. It's nice and wide, you know. Man, I also have my old school Game Boy where bloop, flips up and shit. No, I got that laying around somewhere. Also, I like how your phone autocorrected to Game Body instead of Game Boy. Like, smartphones just somehow don't know those are a thing, apparently. Wow. Doggo, you little bean, why are you over there? I do have a bunch of meats for him, too. Or you get hella spoiled, but I'm not going to give him any yet. Not yet. Like, what about a guy who's dressed as Hitler? Wait, I'm pretty sure that is Hitler. He's participating. It's like, well, he's not as bad as you because at least he's participating in the community and being amongst with us and partaking in our event, unlike you fucking piece of degenerate filth. You know, I'll get a little bit of mates. He immediately went over here. Oh, hello. Hi. Oh my god, you snorty little pig. Giving me the look. Oh man, it's gonna be messy. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh, well, yeah. Oh my god, dude, you piglet. You are a piglet, bro. Fucking chucking chicken everywhere, Jesus. My god, you're insane. Alright, I'll give you a single slice of this, and then you can fuck off for a little bit. Pop. You're gonna earn this one a little. Come on. You goof. Oh my god. He's putting a lot of force into that fucking foot of his. Oh my lord. You're insane. Feeding off all the scraps of chicken that just explode everywhere every time it's on. Fucking little nut. Hey, buddy. You left a few of your little chicken scraps. You insane bean. Dog, you are insane. My goodness. At least you're a gigantic beef fluff ball. But oh my god. You're just he's trying to find and see if there's like other scraps lying around. Like, oh my god, dude. You are insane. Boosh that. Don't give me that look. Goofy little shit. Just a goofy little bean. Like, oh my god. These meal. I just got a big derp for a dog. Dog is just an absurd derp. What are you doing? You're circling around like a shark, and I kind of don't like that. You know, I got more of this over here. He's sniffing around. I was like, Working on my least story. Making a haunted house is harder than we thought. Well, I imagine, like, well, I feel you think it would be actually not that super difficult. I mean, just kind of look at, like, you know, some basic things about, like, you know, haunted houses and maybe try to, like, I don't know, just kind of shift it a little bit, you know, different things, and maybe, like, I don't know, from there, I don't know, I mean, it's kind of like almost, you know, the house is your oyster kind of thing, right? Because there's a lot of different concepts of, like, haunted houses and shit, you know, in films and media and stuff, so, I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe that's the, you know, difficulty of it. It's just like how to kind of like this haunted house made to scare someone who can't be scared. Well, now I'm a little confused. So then, how? What? Like, I mean, some would have to ultimately scare that particular character, then, right? I would assume. Just let it progress, I guess. You know, so let it progress into, like, you know, more like haunted horror shit. I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas at the wall. So it has to be super scary without flying to borderline salt. I gotcha. Well, I don't know. I would just think that, like, you know, just kind of throwing, you know, like, things little bit by bit at a time, you know, like, would probably, you know, be at least one way to kind of at least progress the story. I mean, obviously, you have to get to a peak at, you know, at one point, but that I wouldn't know. This Chili Bean, I don't get why he's just, like, over there now. He usually likes being over here, but he's just like, I'm going to be over there in this corner now. I'm selective about where I want to be. I like this corner now. Such a weird little thing, dude. A weird little bean. I mean, this dog gets spoiled way too much, to be honest.
And I said, no matter how many times I reminded you, get that shit to the curb. Also, the doctor, the test around here, mainly what we use are coming from mainly the frickin' rats. So when you go to bed, make sure there's no water or dog food sitting out in open part.
What in the boom hair in the fuck is going on? So he's always rambling about, like, something every time he fucking wanders in here. Let's finish an article about Halloween means to me it's holiday, so it'll be posted on 24th, 26th. Nice. So probably like this Friday or I guess it'll be this next Friday or Saturday. or I guess between Thursday to the 26th, which would be Saturday. I know on the 25th I'm gonna be seeing TRA that day, so maybe on my way over there, just waiting to see the show. Maybe I could read it, depending if it's posted by that time. Ooh. And I'm kind of thinking of like trying to figure out like some time to actually kind of like get together with like some of my friends to have like a little jam out and stuff. Because at least in some parts, so like me and Logan will stay up late sometimes because we'll like jam out my bass I have over here occasionally. Because I definitely want to like kind of keep going with that music creativity a little bit, but I definitely want to at least have like more people around too, and also not at like 4 in the fucking morning. So that'd be nice. Maybe 4 in the afternoon would be way preferable, but that'd just be me. Because I definitely want to keep doing it, but I just don't want to be doing it so fucking late sometimes. Waiting on approval to the sequel of my Plutonian Halloween story. Plutonian. Ooh, some radioactive shit. Radioactive nuclear horror. I kind of love how, like, during the 50s, 60s, so much of, like, horror back in the day was pretty much just, like, and radiation mutated an animal and did X, Y, or Z. Like, radiation was basically, like, the biggest thing when it came to, like, shit, when it, as a concept for horror. That or aliens, like a blob or something, like a crazy extraterrestrial has landed on our planet of Earth. Or, so I don't know. I've always loved those concepts a lot. I mean, we still kind of have like, aliens from space, kind of cosmic horror shit. I mean, if a lot of it has evolved from it, but just kind of the whole traditional style of like, they have now come to planet Earth. Yeah, kind of like the 50s style. I've always, there's something enjoyable about it, especially of how cheesy those movies are from back in the day. Good burp. A good burp. Ooh, now I got hiccups. Seriously? Plutonian, that's someone who lives on Pluto, not plutonium. Oh. Well, hey, well, it still, falls into the whole thing about like, oh, wow. The aliens, the plutonians, ran on pure plutonium, are coming here for Earth to extract more of our plutonium. Yeah. Blend the two. And also to do experiments on our women. Add some titillation. Some titillation to the horror. Name characters go to Pluto, so they would be the aliens. Yeah, I kind of remember the story a little bit. I mean, I'm just playing around for the most part. I'm still kind of in like that 1950s, like, like horror, like, those little trailers would be like, we have now new visitors. They have come from our most farthest planet. I'm just kind of like in that, kind of in that mindset. And am I? Was there THC in the edible? Because you can't really get high on CBD. It's non-psychoactive as a cannabinoid. THC is, though. I mean, you probably got a body high going on. But a body high is not psychoactive. It's just, body high. I mean, you might feel it in your head, but then is it a placebo effect? Yeah, probably. I mean, it's like you do get like a body high, and so you probably are feeling something, but it's like it's not psychoactive, like at least with CBD. Like the CBD, like CBN, stuff like that. They're non-psychoactive cannabinoids, but things like THC, THCA, stuff like that are. So it could be like a soft placebo just because you are probably feeling like the body high part of it. Because, I mean, you do feel that. Because I've, gotten like high CBD, weed before. And, and I'll feel the CBD part of it too. And it'll kind of give you a nice little tingle like, feel nice. I'm going to be fine, a tall building, and convince myself I could fly. I'm going to find a tall building. Now I got to convince myself I'm fine, and plus, I'm going to go on a tall building and convince myself and find one and fly. Because I can believe I can fly. CBD kills the buzz of good weed. It can. Yeah, if you're like, chiefing on some hella good, like, gas and shit, like some of that Oregon or Cali gas or whatever, then you have a little bit of CBD, that will mellow it out significantly. CBD because it's hard for me to get real weed. Well, yeah, because the South sucks. And Georgia sucks for not having legal weed. Man, that's why West Coast, Best Coast. I don't want to brag, but, Paul really brags about some of that Cali gas, which, hey, no disrespect, but it's like, hey, you can't dog on Oregon over here a little bit because, I mean, dead ass, like, I mean, we straight up, we're pretty much like the little brother of Cali over here. Like, I mean, their gas is about as, our gas is just as good as theirs. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of my stuff I get on the lower tiers, my dispos, and it's like, it's basically like the mids or like higher quality pretty much anywhere else, that has it illegal. Like Idaho, because they suck. Which is hilarious, because like pretty much every state around Idaho is legal in one way, shape, or form, and Idaho is still like, no, not even on medical. They're just like, nah. So stupid. Literally a bunch of fucking weird potato heads over there. Yeah, they either go to Washington or Eastern Oregon, and they go to the local towns around there, which, hey, drives our economy up. You know what? I will say, like, fuck Idaho, but if they want to come over here and boost our state's economy and pay our taxes, those marijuana sales taxes, then fuck it. I'll take their money. I don't give a shit. It funds our states. So, whatever. If they get stopped by Idaho police and shit, with our gas, that's their fault. They want our land? Yeah, good luck. They might have gotten like some weird chuckle fucks out there in Eastern Washington and Eastern Oregon and a couple counties to be like, yeah, I'm above that. But yeah, the idea that that's ever gonna be a fucking thing is hilarious. I'm pretty sure you'll need like federal government approval and shit. Like, I'm pretty sure like the federal government would have to be involved in something like that. And there's just no, it's literally a pipe dream. Honestly, it literally is more of a pipe dream than the United States breaking up. And that in itself is like, to some people probably a pipe dream, and to some people probably like think fuck, thing. Right? Like, so whatever, either way, it's just ridiculous. There's just no way. And also, like, let's say hypothetically, like, maybe they get some parts of Eastern Oregon and Eastern Washington. Like, how in the fuck is that going to boost them in any way? as a state. Besides just make the area and the economy in those regions that they now recently acquired suck and worse. Like, because now they have to do Idaho, land tax, state tax stuff, sales tax, all that other shit. Maybe it might be a little better or worse, depending on, like, the state, I guess. But now all those people in Eastern Oregon that might be, in Idaho now got to pay Idaho state taxes, and they're going to suddenly be like, what the fuck? They're not going to really like that. They're going to have a rude awakening, even, like, in the hypothetical that was even a possibility. They're going to be like, well, why does it suck now? Because y'all wanted it. It's like and honestly, a lot of people, from my understanding, it's kind of mixed. It's just that some people in, government in these counties are just a part of that mix where some of them like it and some don't. But some counties have enough of them that do kind of support it, where they do support the idea and are like, part of like the names, that want to approve the idea and shit. But there just ain't no way it's ever going to get through. Because I'm pretty sure, like, it would be the federal government that, that would be involved in retracing state border lines and shit. And also, like, the grand big idea was to also get at least enough counties potentially on board to the point they can get a county like Coos Bay or some shit. Like, some county on, like, Eastern, like in Oregon where they have, like, a port. But it's like, what? It's like you're a landlocked state. Fuck, go away. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, what? It's one thing if it's like Eastern Oregon, Eastern Washington, but like to try to like, cut Oregon off from California or something like that, it's like, it's like some people that, want to go that far are smoking some crazy bunk ass Idaho crack, dude. I mean, I don't know. But it's absurd because there have been like, mapped out, theories or ideas about like what a great Idaho would look like. And the biggest grand idea of it included like, a county that at least had like, a coastal town or two in Southern Oregon or something like that. And I'm just sitting there just like, what? I'm like, no. And it's just like this weird sliver and shit. It's like, I mean, and honestly, I'm pretty sure they would basically be redrawing counties at that point more than anything. Because, like, I was looking, I'm like, I'm pretty sure there wouldn't really actually be I'm pretty sure this weird sliver isn't a county. I'm pretty sure they're taking from a couple counties and just gonna maybe morph into one. The other one morphs into one or something. Like, I don't know, but I don't get it. I don't get the weird right wing motherfuckers in like the Eastern Cascades, man. And like, I don't get it. Like, some of them are just fucking weird, bro. Outside of like, some of the more hardcore Nazi weird freak, shit, enclave stuff that happens in like, northern Idaho and eastern Washington and shit like that. Like, I mean, there's just some motherfuckers that want to be like, we want Idaho to be big. It's like, Idaho already is kind of huge. They just got that weird little sliver in, like they cuts Montana and Washington away. Beyond that, you're not that small of a state. You're actually pretty big as it is. And I think a main reason is literally just because it wants to try to bolster their economy and pretty much like take some of the agricultural, like money that comes from Eastern Oregon, I guess. But it's like, it wouldn't do much. Plus, it like just really would be a give or take and be very mixed on whether it'd be good or bad or anything. It's like, it's just a pipe dream. It's just no way. It's just fanciful. Honestly, funny enough, you have better luck gobbling up Idaho more than it expanding. You got 5 years? Yeah, I remember about that. I saw something about that a while ago. And I'm a little PO'd because it's like, this guy has a strong record of having a lot of fucking problems, when it comes to not just traffic violations, but, things with minors and shit too. Like, the guy should honestly just be like 20 years to life. And plus, with the just reckless endangerment and potentially nearly killing people and shit. I mean, like, because, I mean, it's just ridiculous. His niece died the day prior and he just blew a fuse. Well, it doesn't excuse it. I don't give a shit, especially considering that he's kind of got, like, if you look up his, criminal record, it does involve, like, some of it involves minors and shit. So, not premeditated. He's getting treatment. I figured it wasn't premeditated. I mean, I was kind of like tuning into the case. I mean, I figured it was like, I mean, it was not premeditated, but still, it's just like, you nearly killed some fucking people, bro. You know what I mean? Like, should be like 20 years in treatment and possibility of parole depending on good behavior and shit like that. Like, I mean, I would say, like, I would say that, like, do that, but, if there's good behavior and he actually is following up with everything and all that, then, like, monitor him and have him on, like, house arrest for the remaining 10 years or something. And make it so he can't get a license again. There you go. I mean, that, to me, would seem fair, because then it gives him possibility as long as he keeps up with everything, as long as good behavior doesn't blow a fuse, from, like, being in prison or getting into fights and shit, then whatever, and then, but, I don't know, like, that motherfucker's got some shit going on outside of that, too, like, for sure. I mean, because I was tuning in, like I was saying about him, man, including with some of his criminal past record, it's like, I want to really trust him, even, just really in general. He definitely seems like he's got some shit, about him, like, just straight up. I mean, it was like a national thing. I remember Moist Critical talking about it, and like Hassan even making, like, some videos about it. Like, that's why I tuned into that particular case so much, because, like, so many people talked about him. It's like, Jesus Christ. I kind of want to, like, tune into this, actually, since it's, like, here in my own city. And it's like, oh, shit. Portland's on Spotlight, but because of an unhinged freak. I mean, not premeditated, granted. And, nearly killed people. But still, like, 5 years seems way too lenient. At least when it comes to that type of shit. Despite, I don't know. I'd be a little bit, more harsh on the tenure, but at least, like I said, depending on good behavior, keeping up with treatment, shit like that, then go on house arrest and be ankle monitored, and maybe for certain exceptions, you can maybe, like, go to the store, grab groceries and shit like that, right? But still, it's one of those things where it's like, dude's a fucking just. I don't know, man. Like, dude's got some issues, and he, as long as it just goes with the treatment, then fine. But I don't know. I remember hearing about that, when I saw a video on it. I was like, man, this is way too fucking lenient to me. It's like, I get it, but it's just because of, like, the particulars of how the eyes of the court, seeing all sort of shit, lawyer, law, lingo jingle bullshit, blah blah blah. But I don't know, it's one of those things where, despite all that, I feel like there could have been a little bit more of a harshness with the tenure, at least. Like, 10 years. I don't know. I mean, something. Because, I mean, the fucking, like, dash cam footage that he had in his car, I mean, it's fucking insane. Would you give someone 20 years for actual murder, also for attempted murder? Yeah, given the circumstances of the particular cases. If there's, like, attempted murder and the person was, like, like, really, like that close to straight fucking killing a person, and they were, shit like that, yeah. An actual murder, given the circumstances of the case, if it wasn't inherently premeditated, but emotional, like you were saying, blow fuse and shit. I guess in a hypothetical, let's say someone did die due to his reckless driving, crazy shit, I think there would definitely be a lot more, merit to it. I guess despite it being technically a manslaughter, it wouldn't be like a full-on murder since it wouldn't be premeditated. It'd be a manslaughter in that case. Minimize actual murder. I mean, Well, a lot of cases, of murder, usually people will go to, to life in prison, 25 to life. That's usually the general verdict for a lot of murder cases. And given certain circumstances, if it's like due to like, emotional shit where like there's an argument and someone pulls a gun out and the other one's like, you're gonna fuck shoot me, bitch, blah, blah, and they do it, that's still murder, and shit, but it's that emotional shit where it can be premeditated, but could also maybe not, given the circumstances of that case, right? Like, I think always go, like it will go for given a case of circumstance of how that shit went down. Because sometimes people might just have a fist fight with each other, and someone just fucking hits their head on the concrete after falling down, and they just die. And that's not necessarily premeditated, but it's a fight, between people, and and shit, and but that's straight's happened before, and was it maybe? Who knows? I mean, like maybe that person's like, I'm gonna fuck kill you, motherfucker, and just start beating on his ass, and eventually, like, and sometime that part of the fight, get one punch, guy fucking hits, just it hits the head, right? I guess, and they're dead. It's one of those things where, I don't know. For me, I think it just kind of depends, given the case of circumstances of like, like I said, how the shit goes down. Because there are a lot of times where people just straight premeditate shit and they're like, yeah, I'm going to fucking, do this, think about for a week or two, like plan it out, and then they take the chance and actually go right in on it. And that right there is like, some life in prison shit, kind of stuff. But like I said, I don't know. I mean, for me, it just always, goes from like, case by case scenario when it comes to stuff like that. Because I've seen a lot of like these like true crime videos and stuff, and like I can kind of tell with some of them they're like not necessarily intentional when it comes to murder, but it sometimes it ends up becoming premeditated at a certain point because like, oh, instead of reporting it and being like, oh no, I fucked up and blah blah blah, even though they might still get charged with something, it would be far less severe than the fact that they covered that up. Like, oh, my baby died. Oh, fuck. Well, now I'm going to, like, bury it in my backyard. Or, put it in my trash bin and just hope the fucking, garbage people tomorrow just take it and no worries. All right. Like, that's where, like, the premeditation in a lot of cases happens, because then you're not just being like, oh, fuck, like this, I fucked up, or it was, it was neglectfulness and that, whatever the fuck. Where at least in score in that case, when reported, would be like, oh well, at least there wasn't intentionality, but there is neglect here, and you still got to be charged here because their death was, indirectly, part of your lack of, awareness, kind of shit, and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm not like a big lawyer lingo jingo person anyway, but I do have an interest in stuff like that just because of like true crime shit. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, so for all intents and purposes, like, could be talking out of my ass when it comes to like how maybe like courts or lawyers might see it versus how I do. So, I mean, so what's my soda ass now, right? I mean, I just kind of like, based on like my interest and stuff like this, I mean, I just kind of give my 2 cents about it. I mean, for me, it's just, I'm just kind of saying my opinion with it. So at the end of the day, fuck do I know? But, I mean, I don't really think or at least it ain't the intention to, like, minimize, like, murder and stuff. But, I mean, because there are a lot of cases where there have been very complicated shit that's happened. But at the same time, there's been a lot of times where it's pretty cut and dry, or it's, like, very, like, nuanced in a sense of how hard it is to really, like, find some evidence because of how premeditated some people go down with shit. That's another, thing about it. It's like there are some people who are so like premeditated about a lot of shit too when it comes to these things. It's another thing I've learned. Even sometimes when they're like young adults or late, like late teens, or even just straight up teenagers. It's like it's kind of freaky, like how some people have like a sense of like an anti-personality disorder, or like a very sociopathic like disorder, where without even really necessarily learning it from anywhere outside of just like, their own mind in a lot of ways, they kind of know how to like hide shit. And sometimes it takes like weeks or months to really like, realize, oh, this kid did it or this person did it. I mean, honestly, there's always even speculation about like people are so premeditated to where they get away with it. I mean, like, some names I can think of, it's like, JF got it pay with, Mama JF. Like, a lot of people just assume and speculate, and I think, honestly, rightfully so, that, he killed her. But nothing's ever come up, for a long fucking time from it since. So which is kind of sad, because I think, it's one of those things where there is genuine some premeditation shit, and I guarantee it happened over a major argument about his kids not wanting to be really known, publicly and stuff, because they're not officially like on government records or anything. So it's there's a lot of shit with that. And plus, I can even think anecdotally of like different stories myself, just outside of that, like outside the public side of things. So, I mean, it's I don't know, it's kind of wild with like, how kind of freakishly fucked it is that, people can get away with things like this too. Even when they kind of do legit leave subtle hints about stuff like this. Because JF has done a lot of stuff like that, and it's just, and that shit is fucking kind of wild to me, because he would always kind of leave these weird, odd hints and say, so like, oh, I'll be in interviews by the police sometimes. And apparently it would be super friendly, cordial, and stuff like that with them and shit, but would always, complain about a lot of these hard questions he would get from them and stuff. And but for the most part, be like, oh, well, I don't know anything. She decided to do this, blah, blah, blah. And, because he would just kind of repeat that type of same shit over and over again and ask him questions about stuff that he's literally said on his podcast and shit. And he'd be like, oh, well, those are a lot of jokes and this and that. And just kind of, just be consistent, repeat the same shit, play dumb. But, I mean, honestly, I'm willing to bet that, like, when it comes to the Canadian police and shit, I'm willing to bet the investigation is still going on, but it's just about finding the actual like concrete evidence, and and maybe even getting like a full on warrant, when it comes to like the stuff that he has at his house. But I feel like that warrant element, would have already have happened. But I think they need like more evidence, towards him that's concrete enough, to actually like do that. But I'm assuming like, Canadian law about these things are probably a little different than America's. So I feel like in the U.S., like a warrant would probably be, whipped up pretty quick. And I feel like, I don't know, man. Again, I'm not a law and order guy. I'm just, but I feel like, there would have been a warrant for his ass pretty quick, and they would have probably found something and, at least been able to at least, pin enough on him. To the point where he might be able to confess. Man, the idea that potentially there is a possibility that could happen. Imagine like an Ewu video on JF Garpe. That would be fucking wild. There's one on fucking Chris Chan. It's like, oh my god. It's like, whoa. That's like a whoa situation. I was like, when I saw that video, I was like, oh my god, I didn't think this would ever come out. I almost forgot about it. I was like, oh shit. Oh. Hey, Bubby boy. Goofy little bean. I don't know why he wants to. I don't know. I don't know why he wants to, like, be over there right now. He's a little goof. He's just a little goofball. Curled up in a little tighter ball. He saw me noticing him. He was like, oh, this one be over in my corner. It's a little emo boy, bro. Just a little emo boy. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, a little emo boy is. And that little bow load up. Boom. Aw. Little bean. A little bean. He's taking a little nap over there. So cute. Oh, my goodness. Oh, goodness gracious. Probably catch a little bit of this bowl out and have one more. Finish this little brewski. After the last 2 nights, I'm just like, a brew after work sounds fine, but beyond that, Because having this feels fine, but beyond that, I'm just like, nope. Having too many nights of consistent crossfade buzz of broski and blah blah blah. It's just like, I was even telling them, before we did, I was like, we gotta chill a little bit about this. Even if we do hang, we can't have like constant briskies all around. It's like, cause hey, dude, because it takes it the fuck out of me a lot these days. Because there's been a few times he's been kind of like, hey, you want to go to like Mount Tabor or something, bro? And I'm sitting here like, dude, before we were like going to Burger Bros, you saw me nearly pass out and wanting like foo-foo. Bro, like, there ain't no way that's gonna be like, if you asked me that at like 2, after the bar, that would have been one thing. But like, it's like 5. We're getting burritos. I'm gonna finna want to pass out on that mountain. It's gonna be my little bed. Would not have been good at all. Definitely would not have been good. I do that little toe poker. Where did I go? There it is. Oh, blah, 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 blah. That dog looks like he's already ready for bed. A sleepy little bean. A sleepy little bean, huh? My goodness. Goodness psychosis. There we go. Nice. But anyway, well, let's go good for now. Have a little coffee stream at some point tomorrow. Hang out for a little bit and all that shit. So, peace out and see you on the next one. So, toodaloo.